What is up, everybody? This is Erik, the one and only barrier collector, and today I am gonna be doing my June 2025 video game haul. And although I got a lot of cool physical items, I got a ton of digital downloads, especially for the Steam Deck. But first, let's begin with the Switch. I only grabbed one, and it's a really cool game that I've been wanting to get for quite some time, and that game is Pumpkin Jack. Now, this game is a 3D platformer. You're basically playing the legendary character Pumpkin Jack out to save a land that has been cursed, to defeat the good and bring back the evil. Yeah, it's a little twisted, but it's a really fun platformer that's been out and out. The game has been out for a while, but it's one of those games that I've been trying to get for quite some time, and then it went on sale finally, and I grabbed it earlier in the month. Late last month, early this month. So anyways, that is my only digital download for the Nintendo Switch. So let me put this away because, like I said, I got a ton of digital downloads for the Steam Deck. And it's interesting because there were a lot of cool free games. One thing that you guys, if you guys own a Steam Deck or you guys have a Steam console, it's a good idea to check every beginning of the month or early in the month, because at that time they start giving away free games. So I'm gonna adjust my camera for a second because kind of got a little creative now from instead of doing well, that looks okay. And then I'm using my controller. So let's see. First game that I got right here was Amanda the Adventurer. Now this game is a first-person adventure game, very similar to Five Nights at Freddy, that my son wanted me to get, that he's been seeing out there. And basically, I believe you have to go to it says join Amanda and her pal Wooly on a series of adventures as they explore and learn about the wonderful world with several new. So it's basically, it's like a horror, like an adventure horror game. So yeah, and it is pretty popular. My son is the one who decided who wanted to get it, and it went on sale coincidentally. So yeah, this is kind of like how it looks like. It's very Five Nights at Freddy style. But yeah, that's one. The next one is Bloody Hell. This one is, you're basically an angel out to defeat Satan, from what the story says, and you have to, you have to save, I guess, I don't know if heaven, or is it, yeah, an angel out on a bloody bullet hell mission to kill Satan. So you're on a holy mission. So it's basically a bullet hell type of game. It looks like a shooter. No, but it's like an overhead action game. It looked really fun. Yeah, so got that one. Next one that I got right here, Cat Girl. Now this one is actually a RPG. This is an RPG. I remember that, but I forgot where you had to go. You had to do. It doesn't give you a story. You're just. Yeah, let me see what the story says. So you're just basically a cat girl. You're a cat and a girl, and you go on an RPG. It's an RPG, like a 2D RPG. It looked pretty interesting. Reminds me of the old school RPGs from the NES, SNES era. So yeah, I believe this one was free too. This one I can't read the name. Clockwork Sword. This was one that was free, and I think it was free earlier in the month. So it's stab, slash, and shoot your way through a multi-tiered museum with. Also, I guess it's like a battle through a museum. Let me see. I forget. This is like a 3D platformer. No, it's a 2D side scroller. Yeah. Yeah, so you're basically going through a museum, but what do you have to do? It's an isometric hack and slash. So it doesn't give you the story much, but it looked pretty interesting. I think this is one of the games that was free for the month. There were several games that were limited, like free, and then, you know, and then we got this one, Demon Peak. Oh, I believe this one. So you play as a nameless warrior. So you're trapped in an unholy mountain. I know that some of these were Metroidvanias. So you're trapped in this mountain, you're trying to get out. So this one reminds me a lot of Strider. So I believe this might be kind of like a Metroidvania style game. But it looks very interesting. Yep. I know this one was free too. Let's see. Fickle Flame. This one is a 2D platformer. I remember this one. So you're trying to save the candle world in here. Yes, a platformer, 2D platformer. Reminds me like those games from the ZX Spectrum. So it looked pretty interesting. I wonder if this is a Metroidvania as well. And then the next one that I got right here. Okay, so Finding Teddy. This is a game I've been trying to look for quite some time. I know I have the sequel for it. Finding Teddy 2. But basically, you know, see, this is how old that was. So you're basically, let me see, I want to see the story. Man, a lot of these. Okay, so it just doesn't tell you. I think you're in a quest to kind of find your missing teddy bear. I guess it's like a point and click. Oh, a little girl was sleeping peacefully with her teddy bear when suddenly a monster popped out from her cupboard and stole the plush. So you're on a quest to find your missing teddy. And this one looks like it's a platformer. Looks very interesting. This one went on sale and I purchased it for really cheap. But you'll see something later in the video that I'm going to show you. That I discovered at the same time. So yes, so this one is another, you know, that's a good one, Finding Teddy. What Garn Ruins. This is another game. It's it's an exploration type. So this is okay, so this is basically, this is the one that was like a Metroidvania, I believe. In which Fluffy Girl Doge is the main character. So I don't know who Fluffy Girl Doge is. So let's see what the story is. Yeah, doesn't really give you much, but yeah, it seems very, it's a side scroller, very Metroidvania style. I believe this one was free too, and then you got this one right here, Gravebound. You gotta survive as long as you can through waves of magic guardians. Level up to heighten your own magical abilities and unlock game-changing weapons. So this one's very Diablo style. I want to say this is it's a first-person shooter. I thought it was Diablo. I know there were several games that were like that I got. Maybe I'm wrong, but it's a first-person shooter and it looked really fun. And this one was also free too. At the time that I got it. Gravity Dash. This one is a platformer. Embark on a adventure-fueled journey through a neon-lit streets of Cyber City. I think that an Infinite Runner. This is an Infinite Runner 2D platformer. Yes. I've seen this game before in the past, and this is one of the games that I was trying to get before. So, yeah, this one was going for free, I believe. I know the 95% of these games were free. Which one's this one? Gun Girl 2. This is gonna be another platformer. Yeah. Oh, it's like Metroid. This is another or Cave Story. So you're basically, yeah, this is the Metroidvania one. I knew there was a definite Metroidvania one. Side scroller. Yeah, it reminds me of okay, after goes back to home to sleep. And okay, so there's unfortunately a horrible zombie apocalypse. So I guess it started a zombie apocalypse and you're out to, survive. So yeah, this one looks good. What other game do I have here? Hargrave. This one is another. Okay, so this is another platformer. A lot of these games were platformers that I got right here. It looks like a single screen platformer. Puzzle. Kind of reminds me of a Celeste style game. So it's a retro fighter shooter set in a maze room. So yeah. So it's like a Celeste style platformer. Heavy spoilers RPG. Oh, this one has a really long title. So this is an RPG who you have to defeat a master. So you have to go and defeat someone. Okay, sorry, I was trying to read what it's about. So this is the name of the game. Heavy spoilers RPG. The true identity of the final enemy is the hero's father. So basically, you're trying to defeat your father, who's an evil person, or you're trying to find out the truth behind the disappearance of your father. So it's an RPG. First, kind of like a retro style RPG. This one has one of the longest games titles that I've ever read. This is Hell Slave. Let's see what this is about. It's a dungeon crawler. Okay, so this is the dungeon crawler style game. So you're trying to defeat a demon invasion. And there's a sequel, I guess. Okay. Looks very... Oh, I guess this is like a first-person RPG similar to this is similar to those games. Oh my god. What's the name of that game that's very popular? I was trying to get the manual for this game too. Wizardry. Yeah, it reminds me of a Wizardry style game. So yeah. Let me see. Home. What is Home about? A rhythm-based RPG. Okay. This one is a rhythm-based RPG. This is the one that caught my attention because it looked, for being an RPG and you have to play like rhythm-style games. So, yeah. It looks pretty interesting. Battles are in rhythm style. So, yeah, this one's cool. What's it about? So you enter a world inhabited by a girl named Abby. Flows by the world around her. So you accompany her brother. So you go to different lands. Forest. So okay, so this is basically like a rhythm style RPG. Looks interesting. This one is one that I want to say that I didn't pay for this one. On a Winter's Night for Traveler. So this one is a whodunit mystery that's in a train and you're trying to solve a mystery yeah, there's 4 characters and it's inside a train. And you're trying to explore and find out the masquerade ball that's going on in there. Oh yeah, looks very interesting. That one looked very interesting. I'm trying to figure out which ones are the ones that I paid for. Kingdom. Okay, so this one, Kingdom, Nothing Lasts. This is basically the first title. I bought a game before a few months back called Kingdom New Lands. This is the first part of it. So it's a side-scrolling strategy resource management game where you're trying to make your own kingdom. But this is the first one, and it was free. Kingdom Classics. So yeah, that's what it was. And it's basically a 2D. Kind of reminds me of Terraria style. So yeah, and that was interesting that this one was for free. So yeah, and then Nightlight. So this one is another 2D side scroller puzzle platformer that reminds me a lot of those games from the ZX Spectrum. So you're trying to, where you find a suit of armor that seems to have magical properties. So you have to find out you know, trying to find out, navigate through this strange land with that new suit. So it's very reminiscent to those games. Yeah, looks very interesting. Christ Rise. Now this one, this is a Metroidvania style action game. So it's a 2D platformer. But what do you have to do, or what's the story behind it? This is what I don't like sometimes. Okay, so this is the one. This is the one that's in a circular, it's like a circular motion style level. So it goes in a circle because you're trying to explore a tower. I remember now. And it takes place kind of like a Metroidvania style gameplay. So yeah, that one is pretty cool. I remember seeing that one. And then this one is Labyrinth Dread. Let's see what this is about. Top-down horror game. You're trying to escape from an otherwise abandoned laboratory, armed with only a lantern and some keys. So let me show you how that game looks like. Yeah, it looks pretty creepy overhead. It reminds me of those games. There was an original game, Stranger Things. The first one. There was like a mobile game that was Stranger Things. Reminds me of that. And let me see the next one right here. Mandagon. So it's a world inspired by Tibetan theology and philosophy. So what do you have to do in this game? It's a 2D side scroller. Looks very nice. Reminds me of the style of art like Kingdom New Lands. I wonder if it's a Metroidvania. I know it's a platformer. So, you know, traverse a vivid, okay, of interpretation of, so I guess it's a vivid interpretation of Bardo, the Tibetan word for limbo. So I guess it's kind of based on that. Yeah, but it looks interesting. Let me see what else is there. Melt Abyss. What is Melt Abyss? And it's a huge file game. A fun action game for... What? A fan action game for Makwak. An ominous abyss appears above the city, and the city's order is collapsing. So you have lost their memories. So you are Mia and Minato Aqua who have lost their memories. You receive a call from the city to find out the mystery of what's going on. And this one, I think, is a 3D action game. Looks very Resident Evil style. So, yeah, it looks pretty interesting. This is another one of those games that they announced that it was free. Operation Escape. Top-down shooter. 2D top-down shooter. And you get kidnapped by aliens from far away and are infested by their blood, which makes you able to use their weapons. So by being infected by their blood, you're able to use their weapons against them. So it looks pretty interesting. It's like an overhead shooter action game. It looks pretty cool. Reminds me of Ease, kinda. So yeah, Orbit Maze. Orbit Maze is a unique maze game. So you control the gravity. So it's kind of like, I want to say it's kind of like, oh, it's a 3D platformer. And you maze around. Okay, I remember this one. Yeah, this is a 3D platformer style, but you're kind of like in a maze and you travel around the area to get out. So yeah. Orbit Maze. Okay, this one I did pay for. This is the Pedestrian. So this is basically a puzzle game. So you're basically inside of these little signs, and you're like this little character. So it's very interesting. So you're inside these signs, and you play these levels inside the signs, and it looked pretty fun. It reminds me kind of like if you guys play Mario Odyssey, and you guys play the levels inside of the walls in Mario Odyssey, which are like 2D platformers, and they're very like side-scrolling platformers like that. It reminds me of this. So I bought that one. It was pretty cheap. I think I got it as a pack. No, I bought it pretty cheap on Steam. It was on sale. And then Police Quest is another one that I that I've been looking for quite some time. It's a series of games that were from the PC back in the days, point and click adventure games. And yeah, so you're basically a police officer and you're kind of like doing like police storylines. Yeah, so it's a set of different games. So yeah, this is a game that um if that I heard from the channel Fortifier. He would say that these games were pretty interesting and fun, and so I started looking into them, and it kind of caught my eye, and I had it on there for a while, and then it finally went on sale. So it's the collection that I got, Police Quest collection. So yeah, looking forward for that one. Which one's this one? Powers of the Basement. It's a point and click adventure game. So it's basically like a short point and click adventure game. But what do you have to do? These story. So Will Fall is a 15-year-old, like many others, lazy, spoiled, and phlegmatic. But he's on one thing and another, like he's useless. Okay, so you search for his favorite T-shirt to hang out with his friends. So he's on a quest to find a T-shirt. Looks very interesting. Reminds me a lot of Maniac Mansion. I love that game. Maniac Mansion is a fun game. One of these days I'm gonna get to reviewing that one. But that's a story for another day. The next one is Slider. Ooh, Slider. This one, I remember this one. Okay, so you solve puzzles and help others. So it's kind of like a, let's say this one is a, let me see. Yes, this is just basically like a sliding style game that you create scenes and kind of like move around like over like an overhead world, and then you create the scenes. So this one's very interesting, that caught my eye. So yeah, that one's pretty cool. And then this one right here, Starbreak. Let me see. Starbreak is a unique skill-based action platformer MMO. So it's an MMO multi online game. I never knew that. So I guess it was free. Looks like it's a side scroller. Looks very Metroidvania style, but what do you have to do in the game? Let's see. Okay, the player kill legions of dangerous aliens and fight epic boss battles. So it's just getting rid of aliens. Okay. Enough said. Let's see. Some. Okay, so this one right here. This was interesting. Some right here. Whoa. Some, you're basically like, you have to fight enemies, but you have to solve math problems. So it's kind of like an RPG style fighting game with puzzles, and you defeat enemies by solving math problems. Look very interesting and fun. That actually, caught my attention. This one was free. Let's see what else is there. Some. This one, tell me why. Is this one of the games I bought? It's an episodic adventure game. So, I wonder if... No, this is a game that was free. No, this is one of those games... Oh, so I won't show it. This is an episodic game that was free, and it was available as part of some of the set of games that I told you earlier about, that every month they give games for free on Steam for a limited time. This was one of them, but it's an episodic game. Believe it or not, I hate episodic games. I hate that they make you buy the episodes. It's like a money grab, of course. But a lot of them are actually good. And the bad thing about it is that they keep you waiting at the edge of your seat until the next episode comes out. So that's probably one of the reasons why I hate them. To the Moon. This is one that I did purchase. So this is two doctors that are traversing backwards through a dying man's memories. So you're inside of a dying man's memories, and you're trying to go back through through time, through his memories. And it looks very RPG style. This one I purchased. This is one of the ones that I purchased that I had on my list and went on sale. So, yep. So that's a very interesting storyline. These games remind me a lot of Old Man's Journey and Journey of the Broken Circle. Love those games. If you guys haven't played those games, I did videos on those in the past. You should check them out. They're very fun games, very touching games. And this one is What the Pack. So this one I got because this is basically a mini game, party game, like kind of like a brawler style game. And I got it because it was going for free and then it was going to be on sale. So it's kind of like mini games and stuff. Got it to see if my son or my kids want to play it. So yeah. And then finally, Where the Crow Sings. This one is an adventure mystery game in which a focus of exploration, character, and world building. So, yeah, this is another game that was going for free. Basically, it's kind of like a 3D adventure style game. Reminds me of Dreamlight Valley in that style. The 22nd century America has been ravaged by the hands of human colonization over the past few hundred years. The American fauna has evolved to survive the rapidly decaying environments. So you're basically a post-apocalyptic game where I guess two factions are fighting with each other, and you're trying to find out what's going on or finding out what's going on. Anyways, you can read right there. These are all my digital downloads. Sorry, this video was about half an hour long on digital downloads. It is crazy. Let me get this out. Put this away. Power, shut it down. And finally, we can get to the physical games that I got for the month and items, because I did get a bunch. Well, I didn't get a bunch, but I did get a lot of interesting stuff. Let me zoom out for a minute. There we go. Let's bring these guys back. So, let me take a sip. Okay, guys. So this month, physical copies, I got a couple. I ordered a bunch online. I'm still waiting for some games. So next month, you'll see the later of the items that I got, because I got some pretty cool stuff. But this month, I got some interesting things as well. So first things first. Late this month, I went to the mall in San Mateo. I haven't been there for a while. And I went to the GameStop. And I noticed that they had this particular game for sale. And I like this character. I like this comic book character. And that is Tintin and the Cigars of the Pharaoh. Now, this is a limited edition steel case game. Basically, this was going for super cheap on sale. And it's basically a 3D adventure game with Tintin, the legendary character, reporter with his little dog. I like Tintin. I like the series a lot. So hopefully this one will be a fun one to play. Looking forward to playing that one. Then I went to my local thrift store a couple of times, but this time I found this, which is the Lego Harry Potter years 1 through 4. Is it? Yes. Complete everything. It was going on sale, so it's basically the Lego Harry Potter, the first 4, I guess. And yeah, give it a shot. Now, one interesting thing that I found out, I own this game already. I thought I didn't have it, but I do own it. But one interesting thing that I noticed is that it's a signed copy of White Knight Chronicles. And if anybody can tell me who that is from Level 5. Now, Level 5 is a company that I want to say they did the Pokemon games, did a lot of famous games before the company closed its doors. I believe that's the one. Or no, maybe I'm confusing them with the one from Yokai Watch. But anyways, my brain's gone right now. I found this one that was signed and it was autographed, but I don't know from who. I tried to Google to see whose signature that was, and I want to say it looks like it could be the signature of the composer of White Knight Chronicles from the music. I don't know, but the fact of the matter is that it's an autographed copy. And if anybody knows who that is, so this is like an honorable mention because I already own the game, but I just got it because of the signature. I thought it was pretty cool, and it's a very nice copy too. So very cool looking copy. There were two actually, and I took one of them and I left the other one. So yeah. Next thing is I went to my local retro game shop in Alameda this month, and I got a couple of bargain bin Japanese PS1 and Dreamcast games. First one that I got was Real Robot Battle Line for the PS1. These are all mech strategy RPG action games based on certain series. I want to say they're part of the Gundam or Super Robot Tyson. Sorry for my butchering. But yeah, I got that one. Next one that I got was Gundam SD Generation G Generation. Complete copy. They were going for super cheap. Registration and spine, I think. That's a spine. Yeah. So yep, got that one. And then I also got Gundam SD Gundam G0 as well. Really cool. I like these Gundam games. Now I own a couple of these already. One of these games I'll talk in a minute. Next one is Albert Force After, which is, I learned it was a sequel of Albert Force. And it's basically a strategy game that I think it's a simulation strategy game. So yeah, I got that one. Then I got for the Dreamcast. Okay, so yes, it is two. These are the two Dreamcast games. First one I got is Rayblade. Really cool. And I try to collect as many Dreamcast games as I can. And this was going for really cheap. So basically I want to say this is like an action. I don't know if it's like an action mech fighting game, but it looked pretty interesting. And then the other one for the Dreamcast that I got was a Mobile Suit Gundam. Mobile Suit Gundam's Garen's Greed, Blood of Zeon. Now this one, I think it's the... I read somewhere it's either the game before or after Char's Counterattack, and I own that one. So this is pretty interesting if it is, because I could play the before or after of Char's Counterattack of that game. So Mobile Suit Gundam, Char's Counterattack. And I owned it, and that game was really fun on the PS1. So I enjoyed that one. Then I got this game at my local, can't even talk. Got this game at my local GameStop. Got it for a couple of bucks. I used my coupons. Got it for cheaper. And it's Journey to the Savage Planet for the PS4. This is basically like a first-person exploration adventure game where you're out there to... I guess you got marooned into a planet, but then you discover that you're trying to find out what happened to the people who were colonizing it beforehand, and also trying to find out the planet's information on the planet, as well as take pictures of different life forms and everything. So it reminds me of an exploration style Metroid Prime game. So it looks pretty interesting. And I've heard about this one for a long time. So I've known about that one. So got it once it went down for a cheaper price. Got that one. Now, this right here marks my very first NES complete in box in very awesome condition. and that is Wheel of Fortune, the Vanna White Edition for the NES. Complete in box. It's a very beautiful, like it has all the inserts. I don't want to open it, but I got it. I won a bid. I won an auction and got it for really cheap. I love the Wheel of Fortune video games. I used to have the original NES one, and I had an option to buy the original NES, but I heard that out of the NES, Wheel of Fortune June Family Edition, and this one was the more interesting one because it had the RSTLNE rule that you choose at the end of the Wheel of Fortune game. So yes, this is one that I really, really am happy to own. So this sparked me buying manuals for games, and I'll bring that up in a minute, and you'll see. Now, the next game that I got, Peter Jackson's King Kong for the PlayStation 2, complete in box. This is basically like a 3D action game based on the King Kong movie from Peter Jackson. And I hear that this game is pretty good. I hear that despite it being like a movie based game, is actually a really good game. So really looking forward to playing this one. I'm looking for Godzilla games, but they're going for super expensive right now as of the making of this video. So yeah. Then I finally, after over a year of not going to a flea market, finally had the chance to go to a flea market this weekend, and I picked up some cool stuff. First thing I picked up was the game Airwolf for the NES. This game, one of the reasons why I picked it up, I know it's a helicopter simulation. The label's a little messed up. I got these two games for a decent price. And the reason why I got this game was because my dad used to watch the show back in the days when I was a little kid, Airwolf from the helicopter. So I know it's a copter simulation based on the show, but I've always wanted to play it, so got that one. And then this one I used to own many years ago, and I finally found a copy of it, and that is 8 Eyes for the NES. Really fun. Probably one of the closest NES games alternatives to Castlevania that's out there. But one of the interesting things is that you get to select the level that you go in, and you control this little hawk that follows you around. So yeah, this is a fun game. I like that game. Then let me reach out and grab these. Then I actually found a complete in box game for the Genesis. This game I've been trying to hunt down for a while, and it's a game that I've been wanting to play, and that is Star Trek Deep Space Nine, Crossroads of Time for the Genesis. Even though the box is not in pretty good shape, it's complete in box, and it has everything. It has all the manuals. The game is in pretty decent shape. It has all the manuals, all the inserts. So yeah, this is probably one of the, I got several Genesis complete in box, as you'll see in a minute, but one that has like everything that comes in it. So really cool to get that, you know. Next one, these I got for $1 each. These next three games I got for $1. First one is a game that I've known of since forever, and I've always wanted to play it. It's a these are all sports games. It's a basketball game, and it's Barkley's Shut Up and Jam for the Genesis. Came complete, even came with the registration card. Got it for $1. So this is Charles Barkley's video game that came out for the Genesis. I've always wanted to play this one. This is one that always has caught my attention. Next one is NHL 96 for the Genesis EA, complete in box. All of these games were $1, guys. So it's pretty cool. And then finally, NBA Live 96, another basketball game. Basketball games, I have no problem playing. I know I mentioned in the past, when it comes to basketball games, the real sport of basketball is not really my forte. It's not a sport that I'm fond of. But when it comes to basketball, video games on there is one of the funnest games you can play. The next one I got is the Sims 4 bundle for the PS4. Got it, complete. You know, I like The Sims. I used to play that when I had my computer back in the days. Then I got Dark Void for the PS3 complete. Now I hear that this isn't such a really good game. It's a 3D action game. So, but it caught my attention. I didn't know it was made by Capcom. So, yeah, give it a shot and see how it is. And then for my son, I'm not gonna open this one because it's just a digital download code, and it's the Fortnite Minty Pack Legends code. So yeah, it's kind of weird. Let me see. I hope I don't. Yeah, it's not going to show the code, but it's just the empty box with it. So, yeah. Yeah, that's my haul that I got at the flea market. It's pretty interesting, you know? Then I got this game that I heard that it was pretty interesting. I thought I owned it. I used to see it a lot back in the days. And it's Haven Call of the King. It's a 3D action adventure game. It has multiple styles of gameplay. I know some of it is shooter, some of it is platforming. So I heard that this game was pretty decent despite, you know, being kind of mixed reviews. So yeah, and then now, okay, as you guys know, I'm working on my Adventure Island versus Wonder Boy you know, comparison of the games, which started my Let's Compare, and I haven't done one of those in such a long time. But this particular game, I would count it as an honorable mention, which I will plan to play and do a review in the near future. And please forgive me if I butcher the name to this game because it's a Japanese game for the Famicom. And here we go. It's this one right here. It is Takahashi Meiji no Book. Let me start over. Takahashi Meiji no Bookte Honey for the Famicom. So this is basically the game, the spin-off of the little honeybee that gives Master Higgins invincibility when you play through the game in Adventure Island. So it's her game, and it's a very puzzle-esque, the game is very breakthrough style. So I'm looking forward to playing this one because when I saw what it was, it caught my attention. So yeah, definitely gonna review this one in the near future, sometime in the future. I have to, especially because it's Adventure Island. So definitely yes. Then this next game, now albeit it's broken, but it works. It is The Legend of Heroes for the PSP. This one, I think it's called the Tier of Vermilion. The first one of the three in the PSP. Now, as you can see, the thing is broken. I wonder if it'll play like that. I'm pretty sure it will. But I've already played it. I bought it because it was going for super cheap. I already beat this one. This one's super fun. And I want to collect the Legend of Hero games. So definitely, yeah, I'm going to test it. I haven't tested it out. But even then, I have like other cases I can replace it with. So it's an RPG based on the Legend of Heroes. And then I got, I got this game Cameo Elements of Power for the Xbox 360. I was just noticing that this is the not for resale copy. Okay. It's basically a 3D action adventure game. And basically, now I bought the instructions separately, so I'm about to get those for really cheap. But this is basically one of the launch titles that came in the Xbox. And when I saw what this was about, it caught my attention. So, and it was going for super cheap. And then now, remember when I was talking about a certain game for the Steam earlier in the video, Finding Teddy? Well, around the same time, it was funny because I had purchased for the Dreamcast Finding Teddy. Brand new in here in the copy because the case was broken. I got it for a little bit of a sale. So definitely got the physical copy of it, but it's awesome because I'm gonna keep it how it is without opening it and play the one on the Steam. So I have bought this one, and when I looked through Steam, that game popped out coincidentally. And it was going for really, really cheap. It was like for about 80 or 90 cents on sale. So that's why I bought it. I bought the Steam copy, and this one I got a good deal because of the case. So yes, and then finally, this is a game I've been hunting down for such a long time. This is a game that I completed all my main collections of this particular game, and I want to give them a shot. And that is Metal Gear Solid for the PlayStation. Really, really good copy. I won it on a bid on an auction. And this game goes for a decent amount of money. Not too expensive to own, but I'm going to try to hunt down for the manual to have it complete. But it's basically based on Metal Gear. Looking forward to playing this one for sure, for sure. So those are my games for the month of 2024. Now to bring out some items. First things first, my sister gave me this collection of books that she had lying around, and it's based on the Dark Crystal. So it's the trilogy. They're like volume 1, 2, and 3, but volume 2 is not a hard copy, and they're pretty interesting. They're like comics, so it's pretty. It's neat. Now I haven't seen the Dark Crystal movie, and it's a movie it's been on my list to watch. So yeah, here you go. Volume 2 is actually on a paperback. I actually like the condition of this one better than the hard copies, but yeah, and then this is the third one with the spine cover. Very nice. So thank you to my sister for these. Thank you, Nancy, for the copies. Let me put these away. Whoa. Oh, there goes the rubber band. Okay, so I'll put these to the side right here. Whoa. Woo, I'm knocking everybody down. Here you go, girl. Sorry, Gomez. There you go. So, I've been mentioning that ever since I got that copy of Wheel of Fortune, I've been on a binge on buying manuals and instruction booklets. I got a bunch coming out for some really cool games that I've been wanting to get the instructions for. Now, the first one that I got was kind of like a dud, even though I already knew that it was going to be a dud, but I got it for super cheap. It is the instruction booklet for the Lone Ranger, but as you can see, even though this is just a copy, someone made a Xerox copy of it. And I got it for really cheap, but at least it's kind of like the manual for it, even though it's a copy. It's a really nice kind of back cut, but it's a nice little version of the manual because it's in color. So yeah, I didn't get duped. I knew about it, but I wanted to get it just to have it. The next one is for Tetris. These manuals for Tetris go really cheap since I have the NES Tetris game. So I got the manual for it. So now I have a complete with manual. And then finally, this one is one of my favorite NES games for Willow. So now my game Willow has a manual for it. So this is cool. Really, really cool. So yeah, so I'm collecting the manuals now. I'm trying to get manuals for a lot of my NES games, but it's not cheap. I'll tell you, if I can, I'm trying not to look for box copies or boxes if I can for some games. But yeah, I got the manuals for them, so at least I got that. Then I actually bought something that I've been wanting to get since I was a little kid. And as you can see right here, as you guys can see what they are right here, what you can see, and you'll see next, right there, and the granddaddy Voltron. It's a complete Voltron, the 2017 Playmates Voltron set. They're die cast. Some of the pieces, as you can see, here goes Voltron's face. The only bad thing I don't have the sword. But funny thing is that my son had these old Voltron. He had two of them that he got, and he had the shield for it. The only other thing missing is the sword, but I decided to get the complete set because it was going much cheaper. And so I got the complete set, and this guy transforms into Voltron. So I finally got a Voltron that I've always wanted a Voltron since I was a little kid. But they were too expensive, and this whole set didn't cost me a lot. Now I'm gonna try to hunt down the sword for this particular. This is based on the 2017 Voltron cartoon that came out a couple of years back. But for being the style of Voltron, is not a bad it's not a bad set. I think it's pretty decent. And on top of that, these were they sold these back in the days. They were selling these at Toys R Us. So you would have find these at Toys R Us back in the day. So I know that I believe my parents got my son these, and I think that he got one at Toys R Us. But yeah, but really cool. So in the near future, I would like to do a video on these. I would like to do a video on them. So yeah, for sure. And then finally at the flea market, I found something really, really cool. Now it's been back and forth with these, but I finally got a working one, and that is an M15 Plus game stick. Now, cool thing is I got it for super cheap. Cool thing is that I thought it came with one controller, but it had two. It comes with two. The person that I bought it from had a ton of these. A ton of these out there. And yeah, and so has 20,000 plus games. It has decent games on here. Now, the only thing was that I have an issue with these game sticks is that the memory card. So I spent this entire weekend trying to see if I could add games, trying to see if I can find a way to use cheats, kind of use RetroArch in there. Unfortunately, it just came out as a dud. So I finally gave up, because at the end of the day, it does have good games anyways, and you can save and you can do a rewind and a bunch of things. But the cool thing is that I was able to make a backup of the original card, and I used a better memory card. I just don't have nails. Oh, here it is. As you can see the memory. I'm using a better memory in here. There, yeah, I don't want to take it out. I don't have nails. But yeah, so got it for super cheap. And this guy, I'm planning on hooking this one up in my bedroom. I already have the spot for it, where to put it behind the TV. So it's not going to be a bad thing to have around. Anyways, this is my haul for June 2025. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe to all of my family's channels down below. Lily, a simple mom. Logan from Logan's Toy Box Review. Lexi from Lexi's Toy Box Review. And we thank you so much for your support. Real quick, as of the making of this video, if you guys went over to my girlfriend Lily's channel, Lily, a simple mom, recently right now I'm out of work for a moment because I am taking care of her due to her medical condition that she had. So far, as of the making of this video, she's doing well. She's doing much better, and hopefully she'll be back and at it, back doing videos. But we thank you guys for your support. We thank you so much for watching. We'll see you guys in the next one. I know I rambled on. This video has gone for way too long. I apologize, but thank you for those of you who made it all the way through the end. This has been Eric, the one and only Barrier Collector. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.